Good morning, everybody. You guys ever wonder how to make a comic book cover? Maybe something like this? We're going to go over that today on Back to the Drawing Board. Got a few other things too. So get ready. So good morning, everybody. I guess this is the official. I guess this is the official first show, technically, of Back to the Drawing Board, and I want to welcome everybody. If you didn't catch the last one, as kind of the soft opening a little bit, we did some artwork and that, and talked a little bit. Um, but yeah, so this is going to be the first, I guess, episode of what I'm going to be doing now. TED Talks, we decided to take a rest on that for a bit, probably for good. But I need to get to work on a lot of things, and I'm in a position now to where it's a good thing that we're doing all this drawing work and all the book work and everything else that I'm doing. So you guys are going to be on that journey with me. So hopefully you enjoy that. My name is Ted Davies. I'm an artist, author, a publisher, and a broadcaster, I guess, podcaster of sorts. And this is my channel, and we do quite a bit of creative things on this channel. We've got about 4 different shows on this, which is crazy. We've got Comics Unlimited, which is brought to you by Glenn B. Fleming and myself, the new publication. You can find that on Glenn B. Fleming's Amazon page. We do that internationally, and it's just a great. It basically encompasses everything about comics. So if it's a non-biased viewpoint of how you can enjoy comics and get into the history of it, as well as what's happening today. So check that out. We also have Feed the Beast, which is with my good friend John Celestri. He is just a great guy. He's the animator that put Boba Fett together. So you guys might know a little bit more about him. You probably don't even know his name yet. And if you don't, you should check out our podcast. We're telling you how to write your comic books on that one. And of course, we've got From the Trenches of Hollywood with Craig Hall, the producer that picked up my book, Retrieve, which we're going to be talking about a little bit today. And it's a great podcast. Check out if you want to try to get your work out to the people that can make some movies. Well, that might be the avenue for you. So check it all out. So we do a lot of things on this station. But of course, you have to have sponsorships. So let me tell you about one of the sponsors I've got here. This is Cashman's Comics. This John Cashman's been down in Bay City for 26 years, and they're just celebrating their anniversary right now. His comic shop has been open 26 years. He's got a great guard dog named Petey. So check out what they're doing at the shop. If you need any new books, any of the newest things that are coming out with Marvel, DC, and even independents like myself, check out everything that Cashman Comics does because they are just awesome. John really, if you're looking, like I said, for any of the new stuff, really check out what he's doing because he's the man to go to. All right, let's see what else we've got here. We're also going to be doing something a little bit different. Now on TED Talks, I had a section with that I called Ted's Library, and I'm kind of shifting it a little bit because I tell people in business to diversify as much as you can. I tell my kids that if they're in business and that kind of thing. So diversification is a really important thing to me. Whether it's publishing, whether it's producing my own work, whether it's artwork, or whether it's vintage comics. I also got into that business. So there's quite a bit that I do. Speaking of which, that's what we're going to find out. What's in the box is what we're calling it. And it's basically it's a collection of comic books that I have that that I've gone into business with a good friend of mine, and we're trying to figure out how we can fill those maybe those Grail comics that you're looking for, or maybe just a void in the collection that you're trying to meet. So today, what we're going to do is because we're in celebration of kind of Thor week, because Thor's coming out this week. I've got a few things I'm going to show you on that. So we'll get to that in a second. And today, of course, after we're done with that, the preview of what's in the box, we're going to go through and I'm going to start Retrieve 3's cover. One of the things about the cover that I'm going to be doing, actually, I have several covers, but this is one of the, I've got one of them already done, but I've got this one I want to be doing as a variant cover, or I might switch them out. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet. So it depends on, well, it depends on a lot of the response of it. But let's first go through let's go through the list and say hi to everybody. Good morning, guys. Oh, good. Wow, got a lot of people here. Glenn, good morning. Just bragging about you. Carl, how you doing, sir? Pete, bragging about you too. Donna, Eric, Good morning, sir. How you guys doing? If you guys could like and share this out, that would be very helpful. I appreciate all your efforts, guys. Thank you. Okay, let me split the screen here, and I'm going to go right to what's in the box because I think you guys are going to enjoy this. If you are collectors, please check out what we're doing, and I will be back in a second. Okay, so what do we have today? Well, we've got a few things. Since it's Thor movies coming out this week, we wanted to make sure that we had everybody that's got any type of collection worries. We should be able to, if I can get that in the picture there, get you a little bit more of a station towards your completion of your collection, which it never is really completed. But I want to give you an idea. These are going to be, I'm offering these every week. We're going to have a different section, a different type of collection, if you want to call it that. Maybe 10 to 12 selections of what you can purchase. And it can be anywhere from a few dollars up. I'm going to be posting them here first to let you guys know what I have. And then if there's any interest in which ones that you're looking for, let me know. If I can get this one in camera, I'm sorry about that. And when they come out, will be probably Wednesday. We're going to be posting them with pricing on Wednesday. But let me know. You can message me directly. Let me know what you're looking for. And maybe out of this selection, just claim it. And then we'll go from there. All right. Let's see what we got here. We got Thor Core, #1. Got Beta Ray Bill on the cover there. Really nice collection. These, I'll let you know I'll let you know if they're reader copies. If they're very good copies and such, I'll let you know as well. But these are pretty decent, the ones that I've got here today. A little bit of pressing. I think you guys would be in great shape to get these graded, but it's completely up to you. Thor #1. Check that one out. That's a nice one. And these, I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get these. This is the first gamble on what we're doing here. So just bear with me on that. But I give you Thor number, what is this, 10? I mean, these were impeccable shape to begin with, and they are all bag and boarded, as well as if you're looking to get these, just let me know, and we will go there. I know that on a lot of the selections, I can get all these are going to be sent in Gemini mailers. If you end up, I think the first comic is $10 to ship, and each additional comic is $1. But we can get up to 10 comics, I think, in a Gemini mailer. So by all means, once these go up on price, I think that you guys will be very surprised on how affordable it will be. So you guys are, this one here is Thor number 497. And these are not too bad. A few years ago, these are brought out. I don't know exactly what year. Pete might know on that, but we've got Heroes Return, the Mighty Thor #1. So, and again, these are ones so you can either start your collection or finish up what you're dealing with in your collection. And then we have Severe Invasion. This one, or excuse me, Secret Invasion. Sorry, that sounded painful. All right, one of 3 and 2 of 3. I don't have the third one yet, or I haven't found it in the boxes yet, so I'll have to go through that with you. We're almost there. Thor: Man of War. This one looks pretty good. #1 again. We're trying to get it to the point where you guys are getting some selection that you might not see every day in the comic shops, and that's what's great about John Cashman, because he produces, or he's got all these great new comics out. And what we're trying to do is it's a little bit more of a vintage selection and more of just to keep the other other comics that you're trying to collect going here. This is a great zombie cover. #1 Thor. This is the variant cover, and it's in pristine condition. Thor God Size. Well, I'm going to leave that one alone. That's #1, but yeah, this is a really good copy. This is actually the bag has got the crease in it. I don't know if you can see that or not. I'll replace that bag. For some reason, I didn't on that one, but it's a bag and board, like I said. And then let's see what we got here. We have Thor 500. This is a double-sized issue. And like I said, we're going to be price checking these out, but I've got, they're going to be a few dollars each on all of these. I know that none of them are going to be over $5 per comic. So, and then we've got a little bit of classic Thor here, the Mighty Thor. This one, pretty good shape. It's got a little bit of stress on the staples though, but it's in really good shape. I don't think it's I mean, I wouldn't grade this one. That's just me though. But with everything going on with this, nothing wrong with having a little vintage store. So, and this comes with the Hercules. I mean, the Destroyers in this one is classic. Number 224. So check those all out. I will be posting those on Ted Davies Artistry as well as the Kilted Brothers Comics Facebook page. So check out everything that we're doing there. Hopefully you guys find something that's interesting for you. I'm going to move these out of the way so I don't get any paint on them, of course, because that's once I get rolling, you guys know the routine. So, all right, let me say aggressively relaxing. Hello. We haven't met yet, but maybe we have. Maybe you're just a new person. Thank you for joining us. Thor core makes sense. A responsible defender in 9 realms definitely puts together an organization, right? Yeah, right. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Let's see. Yeah, I couldn't make it up if I tried, Glenn. I never collected that one. I know that Pete did, but okay. So let's get started. Let me talk to you a little bit about. I'm going to go back to split screen here just so you guys can see my ugly mug. All right. So one of the things that I've come into play with a lot of these covers. I had this happen because the first one that I did, the first set, were in 9 inch by 12 inch. It was actually half the size of what they should have been. And I had some problems with the original, just the way that the covers were handled. I had to stretch a few things and it just didn't work out right. So a lot of this, in order to have it done right, I use now I'm using 12 by 18 watercolor paper. I do my comics a little bit differently though too. But in that, because it's on watercolor paper, it's a little bit more aggressive, the lines and that. It's just the way it has to be on a lot of this stuff. But in that, I'll start bringing in borders like we talked about on my other videos. If you haven't seen them, please go back into the catalog and see as I'm drawing. But when you're looking at a lot of these smaller, the way that these comic books are, and a lot of you guys know this already, but this is for the people that don't. When you're taking it from this size, say 12 by 18 or 11 by 17, and then you're bringing it down to a size that, whoops, let me turn this up a little bit, to a size that's a traditional comic size. So in that, you got badging, you got a few things, name credits, all that fun stuff. So you got to keep that in mind. What's nice about the bigger production size is you can reduce it, and it gives you it's just a better look and better resolution, etc. One of the things that I found though is that even the ones that I didn't think were going to do well as far as the covers go, do very well. This one here, for example, this one is for Retrieve number 2, the second printing. This actually was really well received. I've had more people buy this print, not even knowing what the book is, which is great because then this segues into the book very, very easily. Not everybody's taste, but my abstract, it tends to, certain people have that type of eye that they like this type of look. So, but keep in mind, don't be afraid to experiment a little bit with it because I think you might be surprised in what ends up happening, especially in comics. You would be really surprised. People don't, man, I like that print. Well, great. Let me tell you about the story about the book. And like I said, I've sold more of this print that enters into the book series, which has just been great. So really something to think about when you're dealing with the reduction in size too. You kind of lose some of the colors. I think sometimes some of the pop. So I try to, when I'm displaying them, when you guys come to my shows and that, you'll see the original art, unless it's been purchased, up in frame, and then the books right next to it or the prints right next to it. Not everybody can afford, say $500 to $1,000 for a piece of art, or $200 or whatever it is, but they can afford a $5 print and they can still get a good quality piece of art. So keep that in mind. If you guys are artists, don't try to, I want you to get paid, but be nice to your customers too, because it doesn't hurt. All right. So let me go back to the drawing board, literally, and we're going to talk about a little bit about this. So I've already set this up. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the lines, I've already set up my borders. one of the things about this is I divide this up. This is about a 4.5-inch area here so that I can have my badging. It's more of a guideline. It's not really set in stone. I can move this accordingly, but the Retrieve, let me show you here. The Retrieve badging, though, it's going to be set in standard on all of them. So, but usually about 3.5 to 4 inches on the template is about what I use, and then that way I've got something to work with. But I do that just in case if I've got a, so you'll see it in a minute when I'm working on it. But I don't think that there's many people that wouldn't understand. You just try to section it off. I've got some of the ones I've done is all thirds, but I try to have about 4.5, at least 3.5 to 4 inches for the title. Then I get into the field space. Now obviously the field space is the whole thing behind the badging and that, but for me, I try to get it so that this is the interest in the shot. You'll notice I wasn't thinking about this as being a cover, and that's why it's kind of maneuvered up into it. But people sometimes don't see the line work either. The way that this is, it's not as pronounced as say this one is. This one, is very exact. So this one was, I think, 3.5 inches on that. And this was used on Comics Unlimited cover as well, which turned out beautifully. Thank you, Glenn. It turned out so well. But yeah, let me get started on some drawing. And what I'm doing too on all the covers for Retrieve, Archimedes, the AI is always going to be paramount on the cover. Might be small, might be large, whatever, but he'll always be in the Retrieve series the mainstay on the cover. So because he's such an important character, and as you read the books and as you see the live action live action episodes come out on streaming or however they're doing it, you'll understand it more as it's going. Okay, got to get a drink of coffee there. Take these headphones off. Okay, now that we know everything's working, you guys can hear me okay? I'm sure. Hear me babbling? Okay. So this shot okay? This works, I think, for everybody. I think everybody can see the general picture of what I'm trying to do here. Let me know. So the third book, all the books have already been the synopsis, I don't know, the synopsises have all been written. The scripts that Craig and I have been working on, the 2 episodes, we got 2 out of the queue right now that are complete, which is fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that. And they're working beautifully. He's taken the story into a depth that I don't think anybody could have with a comic book. The standard of how he writes a script is it's an amazing thing, and really to watch it evolve has just been awesome. So, and I know I'm biased, but let's see what we got here. I'm still working out what I'm laying out with this one. I know that Archimedes, the third book, uh, gets into the first part of the retrieval program. So there's we've got participants, what they call a participant, which is basically the person that they find that mathematically has been reborn. And if you read the story, you'll understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, get the book because it's awesome. They Archimedes is the facilitator to this system Retrieve, and he is now discovering exactly how this all works. And Archimedes is a little bit there's a little bit of Pinocchio story there because he feels very, he's the closest AI to humanity that has ever been created, and he's got kind of a, it's a start of maybe a dilemma in the story of what he's going through. And this, hopefully this cover shows you a little bit about that once I get the line work in. And I'm going to throw some colors on this. I just want to get some light sketches here, sketch lines down, so I've got some guidelines. Yeah, I'm going to have to get another sharpener, man. This thing, not happy with this. I'm using, there's going to be 2 color gradations on this, well, 3 color. I'm actually going to be using some tonal stuff too with a darker black ink. But let me see what we got here, and I'll be doing that in a second. This one's going to be very symmetrical, but I think you guys will dig it. Okay. I put some fresh water in this. There you go. My watercolor. I hope everybody had a good 4th. Not too many 5ths. Hangovers. Hopefully you guys are doing good. I know Glenn doesn't celebrate it. What was that? I forgot what Glenn posted yesterday. It was about it. I know it had a Union Jack on it. I've seen other people post from Britain, Happy Treason Day or whatever it was. I think that was hysterical. But all right. I'm just going to lay down some marking colors just so I've got something to go with on this. These are just to get some feel for space. As you guys know how I work, a lot of it, I'll do tonal work first, and then I'll bring in my line work afterward. And it seems to work best for me on a lot of this. I've been fortunate enough to experiment enough on my drawings that this is kind of how I like to work now. I use this chisel brush a lot, like it is a chisel, literally. But again, your style's yours. Do your thing. This is mine. Move this up a bit. Okay. Yeah, Glenn, thanks. Just like Elton John says, right? I'll post this real quick. So yeah, if anybody didn't see it in the comments, you work totally the opposite way to me. And you know that I've kind of had to learn to work like this because I'm always, I guess, in drafting in that, you work in pencil and then tech pen or whatever traditionally before we got into computers. But this is just the opposite. Watercolor is such an opposite medium. You almost have to, and then you've got to have the lights first, or work around your lights, and it's a real challenge. But it's interesting though. It makes it a lot more fun. And if you guys don't know what I'm really working on here, you'll see it in a second once I get the line working and everything else. All right, let's see what we got here. Those are going to be there. You'll see the shapes of it all once you start building it in here. And the nice thing about watercolor is it doesn't have to be perfect. And that's, what I'm trying to bring to comic books because it doesn't have to be perfect. A lot of people don't, everything's got to be so damn precise now. And it's just not, it doesn't have to be like that. And I think the imperfections are the beauty in it all. But like I talked about for a long time. I'm sure they can manage to do it on a computer, Glenn. I'm sure that somebody could manage this on a computer. Absolutely. I usually start out with my my yellows or that really bright as possible first. And I'm doing this. You'll see what I'm trying to accomplish here in a minute. I'm just trying to get the color down, the psychology down, right, Carl? And I use watercolor a little differently than some people do. A lot of people are more precise. Like I said, I've got books about precision on watercolor, which is kind of an oxymoron. There's really no precision in watercolor. What you get is what you get. So I've seen people completely are just absolutely freaking amazing with watercolor. I have yet to be. I don't want to be precisely driven. You know, it doesn't have to be an engineering feat to use watercolor. This is an expressionary form, and I think that that's what it should continue to be. But do your thing. You know, do your thing. Don't let me stunt your growth, artistically speaking. One thing I am going to do differently in this one is I'm going to make a little bit more of a statement with Archimedes' eyes. And you'll see what I'm doing in a minute. I've been thinking about this for a while. This particular backdrop, the things that are going on in this story, I try to bring out in the covers little subtleties that you might not think about or really see. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I get that now. I see where Ted was going with that. Doesn't always happen that way, but I try to, and I think a lot of people see it for what it is. Hopefully. Well, I think that, Glenn, you might have a point. I think that there are people that have, I think that if that's their true medium, their soul comes through it. I mean, it really is. You got to really find you know, Frank Lloyd Wright said it best. In the future, everything will be a copy of a copy of a copy. There won't be any originality anymore. And I think you can have originality in digital form. I think you can. I think that people get uh, bound out. You know, they get worked up about which medium's the best and or which, but whatever they can express. I mean, you're old school, bro, and I get what you're saying on that. That's completely understandable. I would completely agree with that on certain cases. But then there's other ones that I see that are, oh man, they're just amazing artists. No matter what they do, wherever they utilize their talents. I mean, I've seen some amazing artwork on the back of paper bags, you know. And then I've seen amazing artwork on people, tattoo artists, you know. So that tattoo artists have put down their amazing works of art on people that are just it's breathtaking. All right, let's see how we're gonna do this. And one thing about the watercolor too, you got to be careful because it will get really muddy, and you'll say, "Oh shit, I did too." Don't say the S word, by the way. But you get my point. You get to the where, oh god, I made it too muddy, and I'm like, well, you just have to let it dry. I'm trying to mix a few different colors in this because I've got a certain amount of fire, if I want to call it that. Um, and you'll understand what I'm doing with Archimedes here once the lines get drawn and everything. So where are we at here? There we go. Let's see what we got. Let me scratch. Sorry about my reach, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. I use a lot of these. I use it as bookmarks as well when I do my. That's kind of the testers, if you want to call them that, tester strips. But thanks, Glenn. Appreciate that. And you said it. I think that a lot of us comic book artists are illustrators first, and I think that that's whether animation or whatever you have. I think that and abstract art, I think, is a great tool because it's completely subjective. You don't have any. There's no boundaries except for on the page, and even then it's limited. Even then it's limited, only to what you're thinking, your imagination. Um, You'll understand it more when I get going here. But it's got to dry a bit. But hey, getting a feel for it. Looks pretty good on camera. That doesn't look bad. That's good. That's what I was trying to do. I didn't want Archimedes praying because I don't think that really, there's no real, in the future in this story, there's religion to the point where it's absurdity in this context. The story, you guys who know about it, it revolves around reincarnation. So in this AI, this being, if you want to call him that, Archimedes is ultimately a machine, but it's a machine that thinks differently. It's a fluid based machine. It's a lot like us in a lot of regards. So in that there's things that we're going to learn a lot about Archimedes. I think that more so than what I'm learning a lot more about him that I didn't really realize was going to happen. Um, and whether it's I want you guys to picture this too. And I don't know if you saw this, and I was messed around with sketches, but if you guys look at this, the way his hands are, the way that his fingers and his thumbs are, it makes a skull. And I was trying to kind of incorporate this almost a secondary image, um, because it's a very, he's in a tough spot now because now he's got the duty of changing these people's lives, and I don't know if he's ready for that, and he doesn't know if he's ready for that, and he doesn't really understand it all, and that's the other thing too. And now us is that's why kind of the Pinocchio complex a little bit is a very real thing in this story. In this, um, I think we all have that sometimes. You know, we want to be something other than what we are. I guess maybe the grass is always greener, but this is on a whole nother level because this is a sentient being, really, that has thought and really thought a lot of thought and a lot of responsibility, honestly, for being the machine that he is. But yeah, you have to read the story more, or just watch the movie once it comes out. So, or watch the series. All right. Yeah, that's coming together nice. I like the way it looks really good on camera. It's a little washed out here because of the light so bright. Um, when I think that we're talking, some people don't pray. Some people are just they're not religious, and that's fine. And I don't technically pray. I guess I meditate on things. Uh, but I think that this might be the closest thing to him praying. Maybe I don't know. But the skull idea, I wanted to have something very. I wanted it to look very. I don't know, almost for not that he's evil. He's not. You would think that with all the technology that they have, they can make whatever type of being they want, but good, bad, what indifferent. But and I think in the story you'll find that. But I think that there's some people that would want to make this particular being evil, but I don't think that is his intent at all. a little bit too much off there. There we go. Okay. Okay, it's getting there. Feel good about that. Okay, that's cool. All right. Yeah, pulling the ink out of that, Glenn, off of there, I think is a better treatment. It's kind of like, I mean, I tend to look at tattoo artists because they're wiping away blood essentially in ink, but it's kind of the same thing. I think when you're almost you're clearing the path for the art is the way I kind of feel about it. And I think that that's kind of the way I've always done it that way, and I think that that really lends my to my style. I've seen some other people do it, I'm sure, but yeah, it's just the way I work. It's just the way I work. Throw a little bit more yellow in there, I think, if we can get a piece of there. Yeah, and that's the other thing about watercolor. I like the translucency to it, the layering that you can do it. You don't really have that with acrylics. You don't get that same effect. At least I don't think. I could be wrong, um, but it's pretty evident that I think that you get the effect that you want by, like you said, less is more. And with watering it down, I think it does help quite a bit. There's a lot of people that just don't. Um, they just don't have the patience, or they just don't have. I don't know. I don't know what it is that makes it so much different for a lot of people with watercolor, but there is definitely an essence to it that you are just bound only by what you think when it comes to this kind of work. One of the things I know I'm not going to be able to get this done on the show today. I'm going to run a little bit long today, but you guys can stick around. If not, that's fine. I want to say hi to everybody at Twitch too. Thanks for stopping in. You guys have been great. I appreciate everybody watching on Twitch during on the playbacks and that, 'cause I know a lot of us are on different schedules. That's been a really good platform. Of course, YouTube has been great. Thank you guys for stopping in too on that. But like I said, I'm gonna keep working on this for a bit. So, and then we'll see where I'm at here. Probably about another half hour. So let's see where we're at. And maybe I can get some of this dried in that time too. Yeah, you're really good with ink, Glenn. You're phenomenal with ink. I'm shocked at the color matching, everything else that you do with ink's pretty amazing. I haven't seen many people that can do that in today's world. Yeah, I'm gonna let that dry a bit. Some of that light on there, but yeah, that's looking good. I'm happy with the underlayment of the color. I think that's going to work out good. Once I get the ink lines on this, I think it's going to really pop, and it's giving that illusion that the sky's falling, everything's burning, that kind of thing, and that's what I wanted. Plus the skull, the way the hands are shaped into a skull, it's just an interesting way of looking at the story. And maybe some people won't even pick up on the skull. You guys will be the first ones to actually see it and now notice it every time you see it. Hopefully it's a good seller on the variant covers too. I think that, or actually I think this is going to be the main cover, and I'll use the other variant cover, but I think that that's a pretty good look. I'm pretty pleased with that, all in all. That's very much my style. So I don't think I can get any more Ted Davies than that. That works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And then once I'll get that texture line that I like to do down and get that working, I think that's going to be really a pretty awesome piece once it's done. I think so. But turn it towards you guys so you can see it a little bit better while it's drying. Yeah, so give that a second to dry or some whatever. I don't know if the lighting's any better here. It's kind of washed out, but that's essentially the idea. A lot of my style is like that. But then I also do a lot of black work too. This is, I try to be more precise on some cases, but I think it works pretty good. Let's see what else we got. Of course, you guys know about, I'm just going to recap on this. You know about the books that we've got for sale now. So let me know if you guys are interested in this. I'll be pricing those out. If you guys let me know ahead of time before Wednesday, say close of business on Wednesday, 5 o'clock Eastern Standard, let me know because I'll give you Ted's Tribe pricing on it. I try to always do that anyway. A little bit discount, so that should help. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. We've got a lot of comics, a lot of vintage comics too. We've got to move. So every week we'll be doing that. That'll be fun. I think that'll be a nice little segue, and hopefully help you get your collection going and maybe finished. Maybe we have something that you might be looking for. One of the things I did, since we've got time here while things are drying up, I told you that I took these original art pieces. They're for sale, which I take with me until they sell, obviously at the different events and that. And then once I do that, I'll take them. They're fully framed when I sell them. And then what I'll do is I will make prints out of them. So the prints that I make basically are 8 by 11. It's a nicer way to do it so that people can afford your work. And I noticed that when I was a kid, when my dad would take me, and my mom and dad would take me down to the Detroit Institute of Arts, they would always buy a print of something that they enjoyed seeing at the Art Institute. And I said, well, that's kind of weird, I thought. And he's like, no. He said, that way you get, and sometimes it was because of the event that they offered. They would say, hey, this is a Van Gogh event. We were offering limited prints of 1,000, let's say. And then here, this is what it costs. You can have this print suitable for framing, that kind of thing. So, but they were, maybe $50 to $100, maybe. I mean, and this is a priceless painting, oil painting or what have you that got me to thinking early on, said, man, I could maybe make copies of my work and then have that, utilized. I think that was really, really good of my parents to show me that avenue, because I think it really works out well. One of the things I did for the artist as well as the consumer, because it's affordable art. One thing I did do on my, I'm going to open this up here. On a lot of my work too, I decided that, so in the book is one thing, but then I also offer, an extra bonus on the back too. So you still get the double art. You get one with the badging and then one without. So even if you don't get a print, you still have the artwork, whether you want to display it like this on the wall, or if you just want to keep it in your collection, however you want to do it. And again, it's just added value to hopefully to the consumer, and I hope that they appreciate the effort, because there's a lot of thought that goes into it that I want them to enjoy my art. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to buy the originals, and that's but I like people to enjoy it without being feeling they're completely being, oh, I could never afford that, or I'm not paying that for that, which is fine. I've had both comments. So it's like, whatever. Some of the original art pieces, most of my original art's all sold on the Retireve series, as well as the other stuff that I've got. I've had quite a few collectors pick up that type of work. So, but it's been good. I don't knock it, because it's really quite flattering when you think about it. Okay. Let it dry a couple more minutes. And then I'll start throwing some ink on there, drawing some of these lines out. Turn it this way a little bit. But yeah, that looks really good. Let's bring up that in full so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, that looks really nice. I like that. Once I start, I might add a little bit more shading there and back and forth, but there might be once it's upright too, it might look a little bit different. You'll see it though once it's got the lines in it. And there might be some softening of some colors that I do, but yeah, I think really good when it's done. And that might go into a print too, I think, but depends on what. Thanks, Donna. Yeah, that's a scary thought, Carl. Image in my head. Yes, very scary thought. But yeah, so it's coming together though. Once you guys read book 3, you'll understand a little bit more about where it's going. It's kind of the um, it's a very eye opening. The book 3 is it's been well. I've waited 2 years to bring it out because it's a really mentally heavy book. But also with everything correlating with the story, it's going to be a little different than what Craig's putting together too, which we wanted that two different avenues. We want it to be an adaptation of the idea. So the comic books are its own thing. The adaptation is another. But and I think that you guys will appreciate the amount of time it's taken with both the book and the episodic the movie part of it, because it's really like I said, Craig's really developed into something that I could see people binge watching it, completely binge watching it, trying to um, just enjoy it. It's really going to be quite epic once everything gets done. But again, like I said, I'm biased, so let's see how we're doing with that. That looks pretty dry. That was pretty good. Still a little wet, but let's take a minute. So what's everybody up to today? You guys recovering from the weekend? Had a pretty good day on the lake. It was awesome yesterday on the lake. Beautiful. Really good day. Let's see. I think I'm going to probably use a number 0.2 on that one. Or, I don't know, number 3. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Recovery after you mow the lawn, huh? Yep. Understand that. You can see the line development as it's going. So sometimes these pens get a little bit clogged once they're if the paint's not completely dry. So I got to use a score pad every once in a while just to make sure it's working again. Hey Donna, when's your next book coming out? Or did it already? I don't think it did it? Join Carl's book. Shut this window. Somebody's pounding outside doing something. It's the only bad thing about having everybody up here for the holidays. It's not as quiet as it usually is, but I'm glad everybody's enjoying it. That's the main thing. I'm going to take the lines off once it dries up a bit. Take most of the lines off. Give it a couple minutes. You don't want to destroy the paper. You know how that goes. So. All right. No, it was a good book. Yeah, if you guys haven't checked out, if you haven't checked out that book yet, the Mad Gaster Cheerleader series is awesome. Absolutely awesome. I did not expect it to be the way it was at all. But good nonetheless. Good nonetheless. There's a couple other things I'm going to do to this, but I have to finish that up with some ink, a few other things, but it's getting there. It's getting there. So that should probably that'll be book number 3. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Glenn. All right, guys, I'm going to call it. Try to have a good day. Let me know if you guys want any of those comic books, any of the Thor series. They're going to be going up for sale tomorrow. I'll give you a special deal, like I said, if I hear from anybody. Let me know. Get a hold of me. You guys can check everything else out that we're doing this week. Let me minimize this. This week on Ted Davies Artistry, we've got Comics Unlimited on Thursday at 10 a.m. live. We've also got Feed the Beast this week. Be recording. I don't know if it'll be posted this week or not, but also From the Trenches of Hollywood will be. It's a recording, but it'll be set to go premiere at noon on Friday, and I think that's going to be kind of our staple of what we're doing. So we got a really good interview, 2 great authors this week. So try to have a good day. Enjoy yourselves. Be safe. Hopefully recovering from the weekend okay, 4th of July wise. And we will talk to you soon. I appreciate you guys taking some time with me. And thanks for getting back to the drawing desk with me. We will talk to you soon. Have a great week. Get writing or drawing. We'll talk to you.